you know, thinking differently as a leader, that how many lives you can touch and impact in a positive way.
Don't be hard on yourself, right? Everybody fails. It's okay to do those things, to fail at stuff.
Welcome to IT by Design's Culture and Career Corner with CEO Sunny Kaila. Today's guest is Ryan Bailey, Senior Product Manager for IT by Design's newest employee and client engagement platform, Team GPS. Today, they chat about his career journey, IT by Design culture, and the lessons he wants to share with future generations of professionals. Over to you, Sunny.
Hi, Ryan. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Sonny, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I want to say welcome, my friend. Welcome, Bailey, because people that don't know what Bailey means friend. And welcome to my show, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Bailey.
I think that's like probably a good start. I remember we started this relationship as a business relationship when we started working with ConnectWise, and yeah, so we took a trip together. It was a business trip to visit our India office, and that's where our friendship started, and we became friends, more friends than kind of people that are doing business with each other. That gave us an opportunity to get to know each other and then create something so beautiful called Team GPS. When so we created something together, which is something new in the market, and that capability did not exist. So that's the power of friendship, and especially taking business trips with like-minded people.
Yeah, absolutely. That trip to India was one of the most important trips of my life, one of the most important experiences of my life. Getting to see that culture, and having such a great host like Sunny was very helpful. Kind of going to a country that doesn't speak your language, absolutely doesn't have the similar culture, is very helpful to have someone like you, Sunny, along to help and provide such a great experience.
Yeah, so I think so. Let's talk about your journey, Ryan. I want to share your journey and your experience with the world and pay it forward to the next generation in terms of what you have learned and what others can learn from your journey. So, can you please share your career journey with IT by Design?
Yeah, so as you indicated, you and I worked when I worked at another vendor. We worked together in a similar space. I was working at ConnectWise at the time, especially in the Automate division, and your company here, IT by Design, you guys were using Automate and some of those tools, and you had a conversation with the owner at that time that you guys could help us out because we were struggling with a few things, and so the CEO Arnie Bellini, he sent me to India with Sunny. He said, "You're going to go to India." He literally walked in. We were in a company meeting, and he said, "Hey, pack your bags. You're going to India for 2 weeks." And I said, "Okay, let's do that." And it was a very transformative experience. Once I left ConnectWise, you had reached out and wanted to work together again. We had developed such a good relationship, and I really value that trust in leadership. Trust in leadership is very important from an employee standpoint, a career growth professional standpoint. Everybody needs coaches, everybody needs mentors, and you need trust to be the foundation of that. So I trusted you, Sunny, came on board with IT by Design, and we started working on things together. Had a few various projects from the service side, things based on my background. So we developed some professional services offering, like our RMM admin tool. I helped out with the internal support, other special projects. And then when you had the vision to say, we need to do more, we need to create tools and processes, things that are going to help the MSP space out. I want to create a software solution to help MSPs. We took ownership of that, and we've been running ever since.
Yeah, and journey is beautiful so far, and I love working with you, Ryan. The from the beginning, like you took responsibility in different areas. And so at that time we didn't know, like, so when we started talking, it was I wasn't sure Like it was not like, oh, here is the open position and Ryan, you're gonna be mapped here. It was more like, hey, let's start with something and then start exploring and then co-create that career development plan based on your passion and your gifts and everything that normally makes the opportunity a great opportunity. And that's what we have done. So when you find superstars, then create a position for them, let them explore internally, and then they will figure out where like their passion lies and what can they do to create a value for the team, for themselves, and for the company. And that normally comes from creating value for someone outside of the company, which is customer. So it was beautiful. So let's share our culture norm here. How do you feel about ITBD culture? What is that feeling? How would you describe culture?
So I always like to use this, and IT by design is the terminology for the company, and it's the same with culture. It's creating a culture by design. A lot of companies talk about it. Culture is this nebulous concept where you engage your employees, you ensure that they're happy with what your work, and any company will have a culture, right? It's either going to happen organically or you can do it by design. And IT by design truly does build that culture by design. Everybody is very focused on the employee experience, the growth potential of everybody, finding people to put them the right seat in the bus, and that goes all the way from the top. I've seen other organizations sort of try and fail at these things. They think culture is just, hey, give a shout out and make sure you recognize people occasionally, but it goes so much deeper than that. Not to get into too much detail about our personal relationship, but I've had situations where I've been either frustrated with things that are happening at work or upset about things, and you've made the time in your busy life to actually give me a call. We don't live in the same place. You have a million things going on even beyond just IT by design, with family and charitable work that you do in your communities, and you'll still make the time to reach out and connect with me. And so there's a familial a family sort of environment that IT by design really does represent.
Yeah, thanks for your kind words, Ryan, and thank you for sharing that. No, it is truly about with servant leadership that John C. Maxwell will talk about. That at the end of the day, life is short, and you have to put limitations on yourself in terms of money freedom. So at the end of the day, when money freedom is there, it's all about like, really you know, thinking differently as a leader, that how many lives you can touch and impact in a positive way. So let's move on to my favorite question. The favorite question, Ryan, is what are the top three life lessons that you have learned that you want to share with our viewers, next generation, this world, this universe?
Yeah, no. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share. As I said, I have grown a lot in just the few years that we've been working together, and that comes from a lot of these things that really feed into these lessons. So, the first thing that I would say is you have to maintain a positive mindset. And I know that that's something almost cliche that people say, but when you really start to embody that, when you start to do things like practicing mindfulness, being aware and not being taken hostage by your thoughts, we're so busy in today's world, stress comes from every angle, that you can't really control what happens around you. You can't control the things that are happening to you, but you can control how you perceive those things. And if you look at everything through a negative lens, it's like the old adage, if all you have is a hammer, everything starts to look like a nail. And so you have to maintain that positive mindset so that you can take advantage of the situations and opportunities that are presented to you through struggle, or happiness and positive times. But take that to that next step and grow from those situations. And so I would say that even the self talk, a lot of people are very self deprecating in that way. And that is a hindrance. That's programming your brain to think about things in that negative sense. If you think about things in a positive way, even self-talk, don't be hard on yourself, right? Everybody fails. It's okay to do those things, to fail at stuff. And so that positive mindset is really, really key to helping your growth. And that does, this was accidental, but that does lead me to my next piece, which is something that I have struggled with a lot in my life, and that's being afraid to fail. You do things when you're younger, and I'm, speaking from my own anecdotal experience, but if you're, sort of naturally good at some things, you're maybe a good public speaker, or maybe you're, good at math or whatever those things are, that's a good thing to have in life, and you can gain a certain level of success from that. But one of the things that I've seen have an impact on me is you start to become afraid to fail. People see you as, oh, really good at XYZ, and then you want to make sure that you're living up to that expectation. And if you fail, then you're not living up to that expectation. You should be open to taking feedback, positive, negative, as long as it's, constructive and productive for you to move forward. So making sure that you're not afraid of failure, that the greatest successes happen. We see the end result of the success. We see, I don't know, Taylor Swift's new album and she's number one, and you don't see the years she puts into those things. Elon Musk with, with his different companies and the success. You don't see the hours of work put into those things. So often in society today, with social media and everything in your face, you just see the positives and the success. You don't see the struggle, the strife, the hard work that you put into that. So you have to push yourself. You have to not be afraid to fail. Failure is an opportunity to learn, and that really is an important thing to keep in mind. And then the last thing I would say is that I love the quote. If you feel that you're the smartest person in the room, then you're probably in the wrong room, right? You need to surround yourself with people who are going to help enable you and facilitate that growth. Even just hearing somebody else's experience with something can make a connection in your brain that you never saw before, and make you think about something in a different way. So it's always very valuable to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with talent, not looking inward for things, and try to maintain that positive mindset as you're looking outward to help yourself grow.
Oh man, that's so much wisdom. That was so good.
That's all these
So,
gray hairs,
so
Sonny, all this wisdom.
life teaches you a lot, right? Life is a university. We talk about it. Never stops teaching us, and we should never stop learning. But when you are intentional about learning, like you are, Ryan, then of course, a lot of good things happen. So, what do you mean by surrounding yourself with talent, and what can people do to apply this thinking in their day-to-day life?
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things that, from an ITBD culture standpoint, you're so good about is helping to help your leaders, your colleagues that you want to see grow, giving them the people around them to help them grow. So, surrounding yourself with talent, people who know more than you, and having the humility to learn from people is critical in your growth. If I think I know the answer to everything, or I think that I know how to do everything, then I'm not really going to be generously listening when someone talks to me, and I'll be closed off from things that may help me. We all have blind spots about ourselves. We have a lot of negative self-talk, but we also have a lot of things that we think positively about ourselves on. And if you're not open to kind of accepting that feedback, or even being around people who are willing to give you feedback, you won't grow. And it can be simple things too. It doesn't have to be like, I'm going to learn to program in Python and I need to be around a developer who knows Python and all of that. It can be simple things like just seeing how somebody else thinks about stuff, the things that they take away from a meeting, a shared meeting where you have. It can really help point you in the direction of, oh, wow, yeah, I didn't think of it that way. And that new perspective helps you grow and learn and change. So, as I said, you're very good about making sure that talent is around, people can learn from those people and from other individuals. And I think that's super critical.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Ryan, for sharing your experience, your journey, and a lot of wisdom there. And these three things, positivity, and not being afraid of failures, because that allows you to dream big, and bigger, risk that you can take. And there's a lot of value in that lesson. And then surrounding yourself with good talent in just personal life. It could be advisors that you go to in the teamwork, just kind of embracing, appreciating other people's perspectives and their talents, and then kind of really saying, okay, what can we do together by combining our talents and learning from others? And I think there's a lot of value in that lesson. So thank you so much, Ryan. We appreciate you, and thanks for coming to my show.
Thank you for having me, Sunny. It's been a pleasure as always speaking with you, and take care.
Take care.